Hi, this is the City of Singles with your host, Chelsea Beller, and this week is a little different. I am interviewing my co-star, Drew Landry, and his relatively new girlfriend, Kandice Martellaro. They have been quarantining together, and I got the full spilt tea on this one. Also, please keep in mind we are quarantining with roommates, and you might hear some noises in the background, but don't let that distract you from all the good stuff we talk about. Enjoy!
I guess Drew went to the bathroom.
Ugh.
And the funny part is we've just been sitting here for like 30 minutes. It's like I don't know. Like you had plenty of time. I know, I'm not hiding my frustration. Hi.
Hey.
Hey, man.
Chelsea.
How are ya?
I'm all right.
I
Slept
saw-
in, which was nice, because I didn't get sleep.
I was gonna say, was it nice?
It wasn't nice, but
I was gonna
How's
say,
it going?
I only saw you 2 days ago, so
I know so much has changed.
so much has happened.
When's your social distance date?
This weekend.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
like your eyeshadow.
Oh, thanks.
Like perfectly blended.
Oh my god, thank you. I grabbed a brush to blend and I was like, I think this has shit on it already, but I was like, well, whatever, and it like happened to work out. I was like, okay, cool.
Sometimes that works. I remember back in the day, Jenna Marbles did a makeup tutorial, and she would just take her fingers and go like this, and it would turn out perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
what is up with that?
yeah.
Sorry, Drew, should we do our own like makeup podcast and
Yeah,
then...
I think that's perfect, actually.
Okay, good.
I'll just sit here.
Well, this is weird because, like, I'm the one interviewing you guys, so...
I know, right?
Yeah.
It'd be weird if I, like, interviewed Candace with you.
Right.
What is this thing like?
Today is a night, not because of the quarantine.
So, hi. Welcome to the City of Singles. I'm Chelsea. Candace, this is more of an interview for you because, like, I know all about Drew. So
Yeah. Too much.
Too much things I'd rather block from my memory, but just can't. So I want to know, I have a list of questions. Where are you from? Are you from here?
Oh, I'm originally from Colorado.
Nice.
I tell everybody I'm from Boulder because people know where that is.
Okay.
I'm from Westminster, which is about 30 minutes out of Boulder and 30 minutes away from Denver.
Got it. Why did you move here? I'm assuming for writing or acting, something in that capacity.
Yeah, I went to CU Boulder and I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in film production. And I came out here thinking I wanted to be a writer-director.
Mm-hmm.
And within a year, I realized I want to write for television.
Nice.
And that's what I've been pursuing ever since.
When was that?
I moved out here in 2012. It's been
Oh, yeah.
It feels like I just moved here. And then when I stop and think about it, I'm like, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
when I moved out here.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think, what are we at? 8 years? 9 years?
8 years, yeah.
8 years. Yeah.
Weird. But I came out here to go to college because I had done 2 years at a community college and then I wanted to transfer to like a state school.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was doing like acting, but it wasn't really acting. That whole program just, it wasn't for me, but it's fine.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in high school, I thought I wanted to act, and then just similar experience where the more classes and stuff I take, the more I was like, this is not what I want to do.
Which
That's
I
how
think
I
is
was.
good. Yeah, like it's good to go to college in that respect because even if you don't go what you initially thought you wanted, you kind of figure out along the way like what you're good at and what you do want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think there's a lot of pressure on kids when they get into college to automatically know what their track is, and it's so unfair.
That's
I hate
extremely unfair. You're
Yeah.
18. Like, what do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What projects are you currently working on in regards to your career and wanting to be a showrunner?
Good question.
Yeah.
I'm in between writing jobs at the moment, but just as like my passion projects, I'm part of a sketch group called Fembot PhD.
Cool.
And when we're not in a quarantine, we do a monthly show at the Pack Theater.
Plug the next one. When's the next one?
Well, I mean, actually, we do have one on Twitch coming up on
Oh, that's
May 29th.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes up a lot of my time and energy.
Yeah.
Is doing that. That's my like passion project.
As far as comedy, were you always in sketch specifically or stand-up as well? Is that how you met Drew?
Yeah, I started out, I wanted to write for a half-hour sitcom, and I was trying to figure out what path might take me there. So I started taking just sketch comedy writing classes at UCB just because they were available and it was walking distance.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then I ended up getting really into sketch, and then the more I did that, the more I was like, well, I want to work on my joke writing. So I started doing stand-up as like a side effect of sketch.
Cool.
And then, and then I met Drew at an open mic.
Which one?
At Oaks.
Oaks.
Which I feel like is where I've met all my friends.
Yeah, I miss Oaks so
Me too.
much. Is that where you would perform mostly, was Oaks, or did you have any other stomping grounds?
The Oaks was definitely my go-to open mic. That was like the only one, in my opinion, where it felt like a supportive crowd.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, where it was like, I could go up and bomb, but it's going to be fun either way. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
For listeners, we're talking about Oaks Tavern, which was over in Sherman Oaks, right?
Yeah.
Oaks,
Yeah.
And it's still a great drinking spot.
It's a
not
great
right
drinking
now, but
spot.
when there's not a pandemic, it's my favorite drinking spot. I feel like everything we say, it's implied like when there's not a pandemic.
Right. But yeah, there used to be an open mics there every, what was it, Tuesdays or something?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah. And it sucked when I started nannying because I couldn't go anymore because I nannied on Tuesday nights.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about how you met Drew? What did you think of him initially? Did you think he was a scumbag? Did you like him? Tell us about that story.
Well, and you should probably weigh in on this a bit too. No, I would go to the Oaks regularly, and we must have like probably overlapped, but I never met Drew. And then there was one night, and coincidentally, it was the day after I broke up with my boyfriend of 2 years, or we broke up mutually. We broke up mutually, and it was the next day, and I went up, and I was really honest, and I was like, I broke up with my boyfriend yesterday, and this is what's going on with me before I went into my set, which was fine, I guess.
I was into her. But we just met, and then she gets on stage like, so I got out of a 2-year relationship 12 hours ago. And I'm like, okay, maybe not now.
Better pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear that at the very least you're not a total scumbag.
Yeah.
That's a different episode.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but I did think, actually, the thing that made Drew stand out to me is he went up and he did a really good set. He was one of the stronger comics of the night, objectively.
Yeah.
Like, not
I told her to say that.
No,
Of course.
I gave her a list of talking points. I'm like, make sure you say I'm funny.
I don't think we had even talked. If we had, it was like polite small talk.
Yeah.
And then another comic who won't be named came up to him and started giving him like unwarranted notes or unasked for.
If I could be honest, he bombed that night.
Yeah, definitely. But it was like really patronizing notes too of like, you really need to hit more mics. You could be good if you really try, kind of thing.
Right, talking to the guy who's been doing this for like 20 years.
Well, that and like I don't remember why I knew this. I don't remember if someone said it jokingly or what, but I knew at that point you'd been on 2 big tours. And so, Rick, was it 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got notes that weren't warranted. I came over from across the room to be like, why would somebody do that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we struck up conversation, and then he friended me on Facebook and started asking me to hit mics with him, which I took as what you intended that to me.
Oh, definitely. I had no interest in hitting mics with her. And I even looked at, like nights where I had no intention to hit a mic, and I'd, like, text her, like, you hitting any mics tonight? And then even when she was, then I'd be like, well, actually, I don't want to hit a mic. It'd be funny, and nights like, all right, I'm going to this mic tonight, and I'd be like, have fun. I don't know what my strategy was exactly.
Yeah.
It was very inconsistent.
It seems to be a little lacking in direction.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It worked out well.
It was the long game.
Yeah, that makes sense, of course.
Yeah. So then he has a show that I assume everyone knows about.
Yes.
They're listening to this podcast.
Mom Spaghetti.
Called Mom Spaghetti. And
come to the next one next week.
And he did his usual promotion where he messages all of his friends to please come. It's really, really sad.
It's so sad.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
Most of Drew Landry.
But no, and so I started going to the shows, and we got to know each other better over time.
Great.
Well, and then if I can add this, there were multiple times, like the part that comes to mind is back in December, I went to a DaBaby concert. I promise this connects. And I got there way too early. I was hammered, so I went to a bar and just kept drinking because I had 3 hours to kill. So I was texting a bunch of friends and wanted to like come hang.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I texted a bunch of people, including like female friends and including Kandice. But with everyone, it's like I was just asking to hang. But with Kandice, it was like, okay, this is me kind of asking her out drunkenly. But I don't know what my plan was then because like I'd have to go to a concert.
Right.
Even if it's going well, I'd still have to be like, see ya.
Yeah.
So it was a bunch of attempts that I didn't even fully think through.
Just extending an olive branch, hoping she would catch it.
Just a bunch of stabs in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd also get like messages at the booty call hour.
Oh yeah. Well, there was another. Well, that was also at the booty call hour.
Did you booty call her?
No, we didn't. That was like the funny thing is that I'd read them and I'd be like, I can tell by the way that this is worded, it's not intended to be any kind of booty call, but it's a very suspicious time.
Well, it'd be nice. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a night where me and a bunch of friends went out, and it was a Friday night, and this may be shocking to some people, but I drank a lot that night.
What?
And everyone went home at like 11, but I was like, it's only 11, it's Friday, I'm going to stay out till 2. So I was out at a bar and just texting a bunch of friends like, hey, do you want to come hang? And it was the same situation as the concert where like I was just texting everyone, but with Kandice, it was like kind of hitting on her. Yeah. But then I thought about it. I texted a lot of like female friends that night. And now I'm just like, well, now they probably all think I was trying to fuck them.
Well, yeah, Drew, that's what we think of you.
But if I can't defend myself, Kandice liked me too. It's not like I was just... It's not like a Notebook situation where I was like jumping on a Ferris wheel and harassing her.
No, in fact, I remember it was funny because we were doing kind of the chase of like, I think they like me, but I can't tell.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was like we would talk. It was weird because we weren't close enough friends to talk as often as we did. It was like acquaintances.
Yeah.
So it was like either this is a really close acquaintanceship or there's something going on.
Well, I always say it. I was like, okay, either she likes me back or we're just really tight. But I always say it's like we flirted with plausible deniability.
Yeah.
It was a lot of very just friendly conversation that could be interpreted either way.
Yeah.
For a long time. And then finally one night I was at the Virgil seeing my friend Stacey Rumaker's show called The Nightcap. And
check it out next week.
It'll be bad. I recommend it when it is. But I texted him. I was like, hey, I'm going to this show. I was like, if you want, I might hang out afterward if you want to come by and get a drink when the show is over. And so then he did. And then we went to a different bar after that. And then it was funny because I had the intention of bringing him back to my place. But instead of just asking, which at that point I totally could have, I was like, I knew this is bad and could probably get me in trouble. I had a copy of a script we won't say the title of that's like a big deal that my boss had been working on, and I was like, "Hey, I have this." It came up in conversation.
Yeah, it had come up before, and I'd be like, "How have you not read it yet? I'd kill to read that script." Like we'll say it when the episode's over, but it's like a big enough deal where it was a script worth geeking out over.
Yeah, it's something that like the masses would be excited about. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
And, so I was like, "Well, you want to come back to my place and read the script?" And it was like 2:00 in the morning. But even that, we still sat here and read like a good 40 pages
on this very page, on this very couch. But I remember we were like seated like. There's enough room on the couch, but we were seated like this, like touching shoulders and stuff. And like I said, 90% of me was like, I should make a move. But then 10% of me was like, I don't know, maybe this girl I've never hung out with alone wants to read a script in her apartment at 2 a.m.
Sure.
Right up next to the couch, like sitting way too close to each other.
Part of me almost wishes, like, just for the sake of the joke, that nothing had happened.
Yeah. I hung out with Kandice alone last night. What happened? Oh, we read an entire 180-page script. Then I went home at 4 a.m. Part of me was, like I said, most of me was like, okay, I think this is something. But then part of me was like, what if she just wants to read the script? But also, you mentioned it immediately because the script came up, and I was like, I can't believe you haven't read that script. And you're like, you want to read it? And I'm like, yeah.
I feel like that's like the artist booty call is, do you want to read this script with me?
Well, that became our code
really?
After a while. Like, so are we reading the script tonight?
I remember, and it was really funny, because like I said, I was a nanny, and I was driving, and I could see my phone going off that he was texting me, and I do this all the time with the little girl I nanny, like works as my co-pilot and reads my text to me. Mm-hmm. And so like as she was reading it, I suddenly had the like panic of, oh God, I hope he doesn't say anything inappropriate. And I mean, I had her. I was like, make sure you tell him that you're handling my phone, and she did.
Good.
And for the record, she's 10 at the time. She was 10. And all of a sudden, she read out loud. She was like, do you want to hang out tonight? We don't have to read a script or anything. And I was like, oh, just out of her little voice. It was so like,
I was like, let's just go to the diner tonight. We won't have to read a script if you don't want. But it's funny because we're both writers, so the text made perfect sense.
Of course.
Like she comes from a family of people in the entertainment industry, so she's very much used to it.
No one was the wiser. Oh, that's funny. And how long have you guys been seeing each other now?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah. Cool. How do you guys feel? Good? Bad?
Yeah.
Let's dish.
I feel great about it.
Well, good.
So do I.
Yeah.
No, we've been quarantining in my studio apartment.
Yeah.
So we're in the same room together 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
For a few months.
But Drew,
it was an adjustment for the first month. Then I think we got a groove.
Drew, you've mentioned in a previous episode that you guys have like your work time during the day and then you hang out together at night. That's kind of like your routine.
So I hang at this table on this couch, and there's a table over there. She sits that, and we both just kind of do.
Podcast. They can't see what you're
I'm telling Chelsea. Everyone listening. So at the end of the room by the window and diagonal to the corner is another table. It has 2 chairs. There's a spindrift on the table. I believe it's lemon flavored.
So much detail.
But she'll sit there and do work. I'll sit here and do my work.
Yeah.
We'll exercise and stuff and then have dinner and then watch Netflix.
That's really sweet. Do you guys have like shows that you watch together?
We do, yeah. We've got a couple going at once, which is probably not the way to do it.
And a lot of murder documentaries.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, Kandice, I know that you're a murderino.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
As well, I take
it. Totally.
Yeah, no, aggressively so.
Every white girl in their 20s and 30s is a murderino now.
Well, I would hope so.
Excuse me, sorry. That podcast has been pulling me through.
Same.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, it's like they're just so uplifting, and the way that they openly talk about their like anxieties and depression and all that stuff is just really comforting.
Yeah, I mean, they were already relatable in general. But yeah, going through this is definitely a light I look towards every day. Not to push another podcast on this podcast.
Turn this podcast off right now.
Go listen to My Favorite Murder.
My Favorite Murder. What are your plans for post-quarantine, either together or separately?
Well, our plan actually, not even just post-quarantine, currently, is that... I can talk about this, right?
No, of course.
Okay.
No, it's top secret. Jesus, subject.
No, he's, in a couple of days, he's going to go back to his house, and for anyone that's just tuning in, like it's a radio show.
For those of you just tuning in.
He lives in a house with 5 roommates, which is why we've had to be pretty careful about as soon as it started, he couldn't go home.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because it's just too many people. But in a couple of days, he's going to return home for probably a month, we're thinking.
Yeah, like a month. Just because she has her friends in the apartment complex, but I don't really have any friends around. So I miss my roommates, and they're all very loud, and I like that because I won't feel isolated, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is just my personal belief, but it seems like an emotionally healthy thing to do, to like switch month to month. Because I'm sure it's been a little bit stressful just, sharing the space with someone, especially being in a new relationship and you're learning all their quirks that you wouldn't know on a daily basis if you weren't spending that much time with them. So I think it's a great decision, and I think it'll work out well.
And I think we put in a lot of work, like 2 months in to quarantine together. It's like we skipped to 5 years into the relationship. Because like you said, it's all those quirks and stuff, and
totally
learning about how we both deal with things and learning how to navigate that. Mm-hmm. So it worked out really well.
I think it's been, my therapist called it relationship boot camp. It's absolutely, I think a lot of people, when they think of intimacy, they think of sexual intimacy, and there's a huge difference between that and
this is a clean podcast, you can't say that.
Clean
Christian podcast. We'll cut that out.
But I think a lot of people don't understand what like real emotional day-to-day intimacy is, and it's hard to go from someone you're just getting to know and just starting to sort of progress into a relationship with to suddenly get thrown into a very, very deeply intimate situation
during a stressful time, during a quarantine. So it was a lot.
I'll give it to Drew that he's very, very patient.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, also, I'm bipolar, and I think this is the first time she kind of dealt with that up close. Not that she would have soon anyway, quarantine or not, since we're dating. But it was kind of like a boot camp for that. Like, here's how crazy Drew can be.
But it hasn't been, like, it's not bad.
Yeah, it hasn't been like a nightmare.
No.
Well, good. Candice, what is your dating history? Because obviously I know Drew's dating history, and he's been like in relationships, single, dating casually. Like, is it mostly relationships that you've been in? Have you been single a long time? Like, do you want to talk about that? You totally don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I was going to be a smart ass and be like, okay, so when I was 5, there was this movie, Free Willy. There's this kid named Jesse. No, I'm just kidding. No, prior to this, I've had 2 really serious relationships, and then like a lot of like where you see somebody for 3 months and then it fizzles out kind of thing. But yeah, I had 1 serious relationship in college that, or at least I consider it serious. I don't know how the other person feels. And then the boyfriend that I ended things with when Drew and I met 2 years. And just to make things like a little extra complicated, he lives in this apartment complex. No, and he's great. He's a good egg. But yeah, it definitely was an interesting additional thing.
Yeah. Well, Drew, have you met him?
Briefly, yeah. Once in passing,
Yeah.
I like crossed him while I was taking a walk and walking through the parking lot, and he was there, and I introduced myself. Because I know, I mean, not to be weird, I know he knew who I was, obviously, but I was still like, hey, I'm Drew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He thought that was nice.
Yeah. Wow, Drew, you're growing up.
I know, right? Look at me.
Look at us.
Hey, look at us.
But yeah, so that's it. And other than that, it's just been a lot of like, admittedly meeting a dude on Tinder and dating for a couple months, and then they peace out, or whatever. Or
what do you feel about dating apps?
Oh, I hate them.
I know.
About these apps.
I know, but truly, it's ugh. I never feel worse about myself than when I'm on a dating app. Like, it
seriously, same
beats
here.
down my self-esteem. Yeah, no, I think everybody feels that way.
Yeah, but I don't think everybody is like open about talking about that part of it. Like, they're just like, I'm on Tinder. I hooked up with 18 people in a week. Like, look at me. And it's like,
stop quoting single me.
I don't know where that came from. But yeah, there's this superficial quality of it that it's empty, and it doesn't feel like you're really connecting with the other person, and you can just drop them like a hat, and there's not that.
It's also the fact too that like human chemistry is important. Like pheromones, the whole package, and you can't get that online. And when just every time I've gone on an online date, and I've gone on my fair share, it always feels a little bit like I don't know, just like meeting somebody for the first time that you've been talking with online. There's like a certain romance that's been taken out of the equation.
Yeah,
it's very mechanical.
Yeah, like it's a different feeling than like meeting. As cheesy as it sounds, seeing someone from across a room and
telling them that comic shouldn't have given you notes.
No,
that old thing.
That thing.
That old cliche. As cheesy it is, like the meet cute, where you make eye contact with someone from across the room, and it's immediately like, oh, there's something here, and you can't get that from an app.
Nope.
Now, I feel like we got to know each other before this started in a different way, where by the time the quarantine started, like, we knew everything about each other. Like, that happened quickly.
Yeah.
But then it was, like, learning about each other's behavior and the things that are unspoken.
Yeah. Because
I remember people were like, you must have gotten to know each other. It's like, no, we already knew each other.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but I still think there's something to that of, like, I mean, you kind of already hit this, but just, there's a difference between pillow talk and getting to know each other of like, here's my story about the time that this happened or whatever, to getting to know each other in the sense of like, when Drew watches TV, he picks at his stocks.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
The little quirks.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But yeah, the difference of getting to know somebody intimately, I guess.
Yeah, on a deeper level.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Yeah.
Just like the tiny things.
Yeah.
And we've just learned how we both deal with stress.
Yeah.
Because I learned when I'm stressed, I talk more, and when she's stressed, she's quiet.
Yeah, I'm more of the type that shuts down, and I just have to process. Yeah, I have to I have to process in my head and work through it. And Drew's not like that. And when I do that, it makes him feel like it's somehow personal.
Yeah. What did I do?
Yeah.
I see. No. Yeah.
Me.
Well, and we also learned that, like, well, she's an only child, and I grew up in a really big family, and like, I live in this house with a bunch of people. So in a weird way, I love loud environments. Like, I love the chaos. I grew up in a loud
right, because it's familiar to you.
The opposite.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not always comfortable with silence. So that was a transition.
Yeah.
Just sitting around in silence. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I'm not like a weirdo. I like to listen to music and things.
Well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's the chaos.
No,
Candice, I'm used to that chaos. Good chaos.
We just imagine you sitting alone in your room. Everything's dark, the lights are out, and you're just sitting there thinking.
That's her life.
Yeah.
This past week, it's probably kind of looked like that.
Oh, God.
But no, overall, I'm usually a normal person.
Candice, I'm an only child, too. And I totally feel the same way. And I don't know if it's like I don't know if I just like didn't feel the need to open up to my parents or friends or whoever about like whatever was going on internally. But yeah, I'm very like self-reliant, I guess. And I just feel like, no, like I'll get through this. I'll struggle and like go through the sweat and tears by myself, and then I'll feel like I accomplished something if I come out the other side, which is dumb because like we need people and like the support of other people. But do you feel similarly?
No, actually, that was the perfect way to put it. Is I relate.
Good.
You kind of articulated something I haven't been able to be honest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, good on you. But no, that's exactly it. It's almost like a point of personal pride, and you're right. It comes from a weird personal place where it's like, no, I don't lean on other people for help. I figure these things out on my own.
Yeah.
And and then when people do help, it just feels uncomfortable, and I don't like it. I don't like having to accept it. It's definitely a tough adjustment.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people when I'm stressed, I talk out loud about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have every thought I have to articulate out loud, and that's how I work through things. Just whoever's next to me.
Well, to be clear, I'm not saying I don't work through my stuff by talking.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. When I'm stressed. Oh no, guys, we're in a fight on a podcast.
No.
Fight.
You know what I'm saying? When she's stressed, though, you do kind of shut down and get quieter.
I do, yeah, that's how I process.
And when I'm stressed, I talk even more, which I know doesn't sound possible.
No, it doesn't. Is that how you grew up, though? Did you, like, rely on your siblings and your family to help you through things?
To a certain extent, but I think it's just also how I deal with things. And that I'm very extroverted, and I think I just always need to be communicating with people. I think that's what's been hard. Well, not for me, but for everyone about the quarantine is like, I need to be in loud, crowded places. I need to be around people.
Yeah.
So I think that's just how I live. Like I just need to express things out loud.
Totally.
So I work through things. Even if the person doesn't have advice, I just need to vent to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can't, when I hold things in, I go crazy.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like...
I mean, you guys both know this.
I mean, to be clear, and I can't speak for Chelsea, but I know it's not like I don't work through it I mean, I'll tell everybody when
that's true,
issue, like sure. Absolutely everyone. But my thing is more that the day-to-day, I have to sit with my thoughts a lot more. Exactly, which I'm bad at doing.
Yeah.
But no, don't get me wrong. If I'm upset, I let everyone know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to share? Do you have any advice for anybody else who's quarantining with their significant others?
Just be really, really patient.
Yeah. Well, I think we lucked out because I think a lot of couples because we were dating for 2 months when we decided to quarantine together. I feel like there were a lot of couples that have done that. Like I talked to my therapist about it, and he's like, if you're stressed, just know you're doing way better than a lot of people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So I think we lucked out because at least I didn't realize at first how risky it was to quarantine together. I knew it a little bit, but it wasn't until recently where I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy that we did that. And it's kind of crazy that it worked out so well.
Yeah.
I think that speaks to, how much we like each other.
Definitely.
But looking back, I'm like, wow, we quarantined together 2 months in.
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of funny because I remember, like, my dad will just be like, whatever, you're an adult, whatever you're doing. But my mom, it was really kind of sweet because she was supportive, but also kind of like, I don't think you understand what you're doing. But,
And with me, it was the opposite, that it wasn't until a month into the quarantine that I told my parents I had a girlfriend. And I think I already told you this story. When I first told my mom, she didn't believe me. She thought I was doing a bit. Yeah, I was like, I'm quarantining with this girl I've been dating. She's like, who's the girl? I'm like, I'm serious. And it took like a minute.
She expects you to say, like, my cat, or like something just ridiculous.
Am I right? Max Valecki in a dress. And then I think it took a minute for them to get on board and see how serious it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think even at first they're like, oh, okay, Drew's, oh, sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. But then I think after a while, because we both met each other's parents through Zoom, and then I think that's when it clicked with my parents. And they really like her, which is nice, because they haven't liked everyone I'm dating. And they're very open about it, which I think is good.
Yeah, that is good. How did those Zooms go?
Really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, both went really good. We
That's
did
awesome.
both of them. We centered around playing Quiplash on Jackbox.
Oh, fun.
So it wasn't just a meeting where we're
Yeah.
talking. And we
Sure.
did plenty of that, but Drew almost didn't let it happen. His mom wanted to get to know me and say hi, and he's like, right to the game. In a minute. But no, I think that helped though. There was an icebreaker activity to do. But
Yeah, definitely.
but no, I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's being recorded on a podcast. But Drew's family is very, very warm and welcoming, and I was received with open arms. It was very.
Well, that's
very,
really
very
sweet. Yeah. Oh, well,
And,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Zooming with them in a few hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
that'll be-
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just, after the first time we Zoomed, it was really sweet. My mom called me just to say how much they liked Candice, which I really
Aw.
liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that, and they're very, very, they're the nicest people in the world, but they wouldn't say that if they didn't mean it. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Yeah.
They would have just been like, so Candice is a girl. That's a person you're dating.
We're indeed dating someone. They've even been supportive towards me when I've had a bad day or.
Oh yeah, my mom will be on speakerphone, and Candice will talk about drama that's going on with
My life.
Yeah. And my mom would be like, I'm so sorry. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can wrap it up. I'm very proud of you guys. I think you're doing awesome. Continue continue keeping it up in quarantine. And Drew, I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got our walk on Tuesday.
Yep. Our Tuesday walks. I feel like we're two old people in a retirement home or something.
Two elderly people in Florida.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to look forward to.
Maybe this is good training for what that'll be like.
Totally. This is our retirement training, 100%.
Yeah, seriously.
We'll be ready.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Now, what's the name of this podcast again?
Oh, City of Singles. It's a working
okay.
title, so.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Candice, do you want to plug any of your stuff?
The only thing I have upcoming is on May 29th on Twitch, on the Pack Theater's Twitch. Fembot PhD will have a half-hour show at 10 p.m.
That's
And
awesome.
that'll be fun. It's our first attempt at doing a sketch show on Twitch.
Yeah.
It'll be.
That's very
We're
cool.
working really hard on it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
And once this is finally over, see their show at the Pack.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
can be around people.
All their sketches are on YouTube.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can subscribe to our channel, Fembot PhD, on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all the stuff.
Yeah.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.